what we all saw here in series number 1. Scuzz, we were heating up. We got hot as that series went. I would love to see a continuation here at the start of round 2.
Yeah, I would love to see Scuzz, kind of come out here and just kind of pop off in this game number 1, especially against Seoul. I'm not taking anything away from the Seoul squad by any means, but at the same time, I really feel like we are kind of the favorites headed into this one. But we got to watch out for players like Knight, who was on that Team EXE squad beforehand in the past. But we faced Team EXE, that new squad that they have in day number 2 yesterday, and we got the better of them there in that lower bracket. So hopefully we can start things off early and fast here for Scuzz Esports, and hopefully we can take advantage of those opportunities that we missed for a crew.
Yep, coming up here against Drew, Stealth, and Knight, and I was following along with a lot of Oryxes there looking to push through. Obviously, Scuzz being number 1 on the radar, so I know they were pretty happy to make it here, but we'll see how far they get as we continue our run as well. I do think it is a little bit more of a favorable matchup compared to a crew, especially with the momentum we had been building, especially if Saya is comfortable enough going for touches like that this early into game number 1, but so far it does not look like our offense has skipped a beat, continuing to pound the back of the net and just looking to just hammer our way through on offense.
Yeah, we've had a lot of opportunities on offense, especially in that last series, but this one right here, we need to cross the finish line. I want to see Scuzz just get the job done and get on the board first and take that pressure off of them and the mindset. Because it took us a couple of games to get going there in that first matchup that we had. So I want to see them come out and just be the dominant force that we know they can, and hopefully win this series 3-0. But 3 minutes and 20 seconds left in this matchup, and still scoreless from both of these squads. So defense going to be the main contributor so far in this matchup.
Yeah, it was similar to what we saw in game 1 as well. It really came down to what defense dropped first, or who was able to give up a little bit of a hiccup or a crack, and neither team doing so just yet here in game number 1, as we'll get some more offense coming out from Scuzz. Quick turn there by the Seoul defense. Aris playing over to the corner, looking to try to escort this across as well. Another corner-to-corner play coming out from Scuzz. We'll see if it can work its way up into an offensive opportunity, and whoops, there it might well be doing just that.
Yeah, but like we talked about beforehand, there's a lot of opportunities there, but like you see some confusion right there on the offensive end. A little bit of a slow play. Saya trying to rotate back through towards the other end of the field. And then you've seen Aris and Eris right there trying to figure out who was going to go for that challenge, who was going to go for the contestation right there. And Seoul just hopped all over it. So that's just something we have to just kind of be clear, concise with these comms. And that's something that we haven't really been seeing so far. And we saw a little bit of a mishap right there in game number 5 as well in the last series. But at the same time, it's kind of transitioning into something. So hopefully we get these things figured out and we can see a goal here for Scuzz Esports.
Right, I wouldn't call them full on, like double commits, but there's maybe been, 1.5 commits, a couple of different rotation or communication issues, but has not proven to be too negative here. This game 1 continuing to tick away, but I'd love to see that connection forming. Both teams with 3 minutes and change having felt each other out so far, but a lot of passing coming out for Seoul. Aris challenging, looking to try to get a pass. Gets it over onto the corner, looking for the bounce. Will not be able to continue on with much offense, but did get the boost steal. We'll try to slow down Seoul a little bit, make him a little thirsty, but Drew dribbling it, flicking. We'll get the first goal of game 1.
Yeah, a good goal right here from Seoul. Drew in particular, who pretty much just took this one from coast to coast and then had an opportunity right there. I thought Eris was going to have the rotation back through in time and save that one away, but just a quick shot right there from Drew that's going to go ahead and save that one, or go ahead and push that one through. And Seoul are up 1-0, but 1 minute and 20 seconds left. There goes the counter attack right there. Trying to have the counter goal, I should say, from Eris. Just a little bit off target.
Still there. Some of these shots that they're hunting for have been very similar to what had worked in match 1. We saw that passing play going over the top of the border. On the other end had not worked out, but on this end for Seoul, it will. Stealth challenging it, diving in, following it from the side wall and getting several touches upon it. Actually, Drew hit it right back up to Stealth. I was kind of curious as to how Stealth got credited with it, but at this point, Seoul credited with 2. They hold the multi-goal lead.
Unfortunate. 60 seconds left on the clock right here in game number 1. Eris taking this one back to his side of the field for some reason. Going to set up Knight perfectly for Seoul to push that one through. So 3-0 now in favor of Seoul. Questionable decision right here from Aris to kind of bring that one back towards his side, especially trying to double that one off of the wall towards the net. But at the same time, maybe we just call this one a wash right here, Alligator. I'm not too sure. You know, this game number 1 not really looking in favor of Scuzz Esports.
Right. Well, look, to just kind of take a breath, you know, keep the emotions cool and calm, and, you know, say, hey, maybe sometimes you just got to regain, get some fluidity back in the movements, and say, hey, game 2 is ours. But keep hunting for a goal, even if it starts getting really weird with the final goal count. It does not really matter. It's the game score that matters. So go for it. Have some fun. Get some potential clip-worthy moments in here, and look to regain here for game 2.
Yeah, I mean, it's all about the regain. You have to regain, reset your mental. Whatever happened in this game number 1, just pretty much, you know, just forget about it, is all we can really say. But 20 seconds left right here in game number 1. Close shot, 1-2 punch, cannot find its way through either. That was going to be pushed off the back wall. Here comes a 1-2 punch and counterattack right there for Soul. That one's going to be a missed opportunity as well. 10 seconds on the clock. Here comes Knight over on the right-hand side. Eris at midfield, trying to get something going right here for Scuzz. Maybe they walk away with a goal. Maybe they walk away with some momentum. Aris into the corner as well. Has the second touch off the sidewall. Saya saves that one and keeps it up in the air. Trying to give that one right back to Aris into the corner. But unfortunate, game number 1 right here for Scuzz Esports. But at the same time, a lot of mistakes, weren't playing as clean, aren't as fluent. And I really feel like Scuzz just has to find their groove here.
Yeah, and finding the groove is really what worked out so well in match 1. So hopefully we'll see it here in game 2 of match 2. A couple of hiccups, but I mean, whoops, the best players have short memories. If mistakes happen, you know, learn from it, but forget the rest and just keep moving forward. And, you know, we don't have to tell the players this, of course. They have how many hundreds and thousands of hours into this game. So they grinded to get here, absolutely. The regain is certainly possible, and I am betting on it. I would love to see it happen. So as we'll get ready for game number 2. But, you know, whoops, overall, it's a rocky start for series number 2, but nothing that can't be corrected.
Yeah, I mean, that's the beauty of Rocket League. You have, you know, pretty much a minute, essentially, as you see as we hop into game number 2. You have to have that, what would you say, that comeback, essentially. You have to reset your mental going into this game. You can't just sit there and stew on it for too long, because this is a best of 5 series. You have to just go ahead and reset your mental, go into something like this. A double touch off the back wall from Eris. So to start this one off for Scuzz Esports, that's exactly how you want to start this one off.
That is huge, and a beautiful follow-up from Aris to get the momentum back. You know, we talk about it on how many different occasions. Rocket League is such a momentum-based game, and starting off strong like that is going to be huge, especially if you can get a follow-up opportunity, maybe throwing a little bit of trickery, but unable to do so, unable to get that final touch. So a very hot start here for Scuzz in game 2. Aris slowing it down to go for a couple of challenges. We'll get back onto defense here quickly and hopefully be able to extend this lead and not necessarily cede it too soon.
We're going to see, only time can tell. We talked about going up early, how much it affects the mental. It just takes a huge weight off your shoulder, in my personal opinion, as well. We're going to see if that works out in our favor, because there's still a lot of time on the clock. You know, we can't count out Soul, especially them scoring 3 goals in that first matchup. But what we can count on is the Scuzz Esports defense, how well they can play. Maybe we could push this one upfield as well and take advantage of another opportunity that they give us, but it's going to be popped away into the corner and ultimately probably cleared away right here. Uh-oh, here comes... I was going to say, here comes Scuzz Esports one more time, trying to have a second touch. Saya, 1-2 pass. Eris going to be denied right here at the midfield line. Here comes Eris now at the center line, trying to keep the pressure onto the Soul defense.
We're seeing potential lob up over here. Stealth and Saya, now they're making contact. So many plays coming out from the corners on both ends of the pitch. Nothing running true north or south, but instead taking a bit of a detour. The shots are starting to come in a little bit more frequently, about 90 seconds and change in. Aris looking to put one underneath the slow play, the drop, pop, and roll. And Aris, Scuzz Esports find themselves up 2.
Yeah, huge individual play right here from Aris, the 50-50 master. Pretty much pushing this one through right here on the goal line. It's exactly the result that you want. And I was going to say this in the last matchup that we had as well. Scuzz Esports, it's something we didn't talk about. They've been having a majority of the 50-50 challenges go their way the whole entire time. And, you know, Crew was just doing such a good job at, you know, kind of, you know, hopping on the ball after those 50-50 challenges. But I believe Soul, they have a couple of chances for Scuzz Esports to win these 50-50s. And that's case in point right there as they push that one through and take the lead 2-0.
Hopefully able to hold on to this lead. They're going to keep pushing for a third, no doubt about that. try to keep this offense going. This is the first half game 2, ticking closer and closer to passing into the back half. We'll need a quick challenge there by Aris to look for some room as well. But Aris and Eris, the connection really has been there. Whoops, we talked earlier about this team, the trio that we see before us formed very recently. But a lot of the connections and the chemistry, it feels like they've been playing for a lot longer than that.
Oh, 100%, but that's the beauty of this bubble seat, as Aris is going to score this one as well. 3-0 now in favor of Scuzz. How about that flip of the script? 3-0 in the first game for Seoul. Now it's Scuzz Esports, still at 2:29 to go. But yeah, you talked about, this Scuzz Esports team. We talked about it just a tad bit. We hinted as to how recent they've been playing together. But, these two players, I want to say Aris and Saya, have been on this roster for quite some time now. But the third member, Eris, was only announced as soon as September 28th. So only a couple days ago. Was that like less than a week as he's been playing with this team here. So huge showing right here for Scuzz Esports, and especially the first time playing together as a team, making this day number 3 for RLCS.
Yeah, it's huge, and showing the ability to rebound and regain as well. Up 3, 2 minutes left. And continuing to build that offensive pressure, I really do like it. Some of the best chemistry is forged on the battlefield, and maybe competition can substitute for it in this case, and it certainly seems to be growing as the series has gone, and the defense needs to continue as well. Off the ceiling, that is one of the more gutsy saves I've seen, and that just shows you the level of confidence Scuzz is playing with.
Yeah, not only that, but you're up by 3 goals, so this is the time to go for some highlight reel plays or some highlight reel saves as well, and just kind of regain that confidence that was kind of diminished in that game number 1. So have a little bit of fun out here. Why not? Go for some crazy risky plays, and especially if your teammates have the backup as well to cover up one of those risky touches, then I'm all for it. But quickly approaching this 60 seconds in this matchup, and right now Scuzz are just pretty much just dominating right now in this game number 2.
It's huge. I love it. I love to see what this means heading into game 3 as well, and hopefully, unless something really wild happens, we'll be at a tie series, as we needed to get a little bit of an emergency save there, but less the potential own goal bounce in. So the final minute down here in Aquadome, and pressure has not gotten to Scuzz. We've certainly brought it over to Seoul. And to your point, Whoops, looking to play pretty loosely, pretty freely as time ticks away.
40 seconds now. Eris going to get by stealth. Couldn't quite get the touch that he needed to. I think he kind of had a little awkward positioning right there with his Octane. I do like the pass off right there as well. We were talking about the communication issues that we were seeing from Scuzz Esports, but Aris to Eris right there, the pass off. You saw how he angled his Octane back downward towards the field to get out of the way there. So maybe the communication is back right here for Scuzz Esports. Great opportunity right here for Scuzz to score another goal. 14 seconds left. Off the back wall, Saya, Aris trying to push that one through. Here comes Drury now. Dangerous in the open field. Has another man upfield as well. That was Knight trying to get the bump as well. Couldn't quite get the touch that he needed either. Right now, it looks like Scuzz Esports are indeed going to hang on to maybe the scoreless second game number 2 right here. This one, when it's on all zeros, especially knocking on the door, it really does worry me just a tad bit, but it is indeed going to hit the ground there at the midfield line, and Scuzz Esports are going to win this game number 2, 3-0.
And hey, getting the momentum. They had a couple of hiccups in game number 1, and I didn't say it, so take me at my word. But I was thinking, hopefully, maybe it was just round 1 had a couple of maybe some nerves coming into it. Not gonna lie, this is a big stage to be playing on. But yeah, a round under their belt, one game in the second series under the belt, and game 2 and round 2 looked to be markedly different from game 1, and I like to see how settled in the guys are getting, knowing that, hey, this night ain't over yet. We got time to rise. They popped back in a big way.
Yeah, we were just talking about how, towards the tail end of that game, you just have to go and just reset your mental and just kind of let, Seoul do their thing, because they came out, hot and heavy. They came out furious out here. They really did, like some sort of tenacity inside their Rocket League play. They were playing at such a different pace. Not only that, but they had so many opportunities that they were just crossing the finish line with. So, I mean, they were popping off. I guess we could kind of say that. They were popping off, and, it was just Scuzz Esports were in their way in that game number 1. But they didn't let that affect their mental at all. They came back. They bounced back. They went back to the drawing board. They started to approach the game differently, not only defensively, but offensively as well. And you started to see the opportunities being taken advantage of it for Scuzz Esports. So, huge showing right there for Scuzz. The series is all tied up 1-1.
We'll look to continue that momentum and try to get out of our half again as we continue to start games on our own half. mixed results on how that ends up working out, but with the exception of game 1, round 1, generally not conceding right away, so nothing too terribly worrisome yet. A passing play coming out from Soul is they're going to get a connection just past the 32-second mark, so I'll say that it didn't happen early, but still an early lead for Soul.
Yeah, and this is a good play right here from Knight. We were talking about the mind games from the demolition game. Knight just passed that ball off and then went for that goal line, just straight for that goal line in supersonic mode, hunting for a demolition right there. That's what set up that play right there for Soul, was that pass off from Knight, that demolition challenge. And here comes Knight now trying to go for a double touch, and he finds it off the back wall. That's going to put Soul up 2-0 now.
I'll say credit where credit is due. Knight doing very well to recover, bumped by Saya, following up, getting it past Aris, and obviously we're here to support Scuzz, but I mean, credit where it's at. That was a beautiful goal there by Knight, but off the kickoff again, and we'll head up into game number 3 now, down by 2 in the first minute. We'll look to regain a little bit more quickly this time, hopefully within the continuation of this game, and not have to take it to 4 to look to try to even it up.
Yeah, just unfortunate right there. Unfortunate start right here for Scuzz Esports. I mean, kudos to Soul for, coming out here only a minute off the clock, already 2 goals as well. So, they reset their mental as well. That's all we can really say about it. Eris with a nice save, though. Pops that one over to the right-hand side. Off the sidewall now, trying to get something going here. Eris trying to go for the bump on the last defender's back right there, but the follow-up touch from Eris is going to go ahead and find its way through. Scuzz only down by 1.
I like the continued commitment to the ball as well. Eris trying to get the bump onto Stealth, and he couldn't quite get the full demo off and popped it up, but Eris says, hey, Eris, I see you. We got this bond, this kinship that we can't explain or pronounce, and follows it through and puts us back within 1.
I like how you say or pronounce. I mean, we both, have our different interpretations of Aris and Eris. I'm trying to emphasize the E here for Eris so we can, distinguish both of these players. But I mean, I guess if you want to be technical, they're both pronounced Aris and Eris. Okay, that's just how it is. But regardless,
I got a northern Minnesota accent. I'm going to get flamed for anything I pronounce when I go fast. I'm used to it.
Yeah, I was going to say, regardless, I mean, Aris and Eris, it's going to be the Aris connection. And, Saya is just, here with his unique name as well. So you love to see it. But back into this matchup right now, 3 minutes almost on the clock right now. Scuzz only down by 1. Trying to hunt for this equalizer, especially in regulation. Nice 1-2 pass back towards the middle of the field. That one is going to go ahead and go through for Stealth. He had the follow-up off the crossbar. What a huge play right here for Soul.
The 1-2-3. Call it the 1-2-3-3. Why not? Stealth, again, following through, seeing a few goals in this game that really they've been scored because teams are full sending. They're not in speed, but committing all 3 players deep upfield because they see the opportunities. Now, that does lead to potential risk-reward situations, but alas, it seems to have paid off in the first half of Game 3 for both teams as they've gone for it. So, 3-1 for Soul, 1-1 in the series. Time continues to tick. We'll see how this battles back through. Aris is going to look to take it out of the corner. Quick challenge back, and we'll see it get sent back over to that blue side.
Yeah, this is just getting a little out of control right now. I'm starting to see Soul play with a little bit more, I guess, carefree play. I feel like they think that they're going to win this game right now, but there's still a lot of time on the clock right. There's 2 minutes and 20 seconds left. And speaking of which, you see Eris is kind of trying to bring that one upfield, trying to knock on the door as well, but it's these far clears. These far clears right here that Soul have that pretty much been taking the opportunities away from Scuzz Esports as this one rattles the cages as well. The follow-up touch, can it find its way through? No, it cannot. I think that one's going to be saved away by Drewy. But the far clears essentially has been what's been killing the Scuzz Esports team.
Yeah, just finding somebody back on that rotation who's able to cut it off, and case in point, they're going to go right back to it. Asaya's putting it off over to the corner, but still a tad uncomfortable here for Scuzz, as we have less than 2 minutes to go to get our way back into the game. The rotations and the aggression have been tight. The shots need to tighten up a little bit more, as the goal has been within our grasp, but slipped through the net a couple of times now here in game number 3. 90 seconds left. Still fighting, still pushing, looking to get the second goal, and that's going to be it. Aris just under the crossbar and brings us back within 1.
Yeah, what set this one up was what? Demolitions. Demolition onto the last person back, courtesy of Saya, onto Knight. That one opened up the whole entire net for Scuzz to shoot on, and that's all it took for Aris was a demolition onto the goal line. He had a free range to shoot wherever he wanted to on that one. So only down by 1 now with Scuzz Esports with almost a minute and 15 seconds left in this ball game. So far, things are looking pretty favorable to tie up this ball game. Scuzz has a lot of pressure on defense. Soul have a chance right here to extend this lead by just 1 more goal. Saya at midfield, pushing this one up, using that flip reset very wisely off the back wall. Stealth covers that one up. 60 seconds to go, Alligator.
More plays coming onto the back wall as well. Scuzz has lived and died by these plays, whether they turn into aerial showcases or passing plays high up above the net. Soul is starting to read them a little bit better as the series has gone on. We'll still be back on defense, at least for the moment. We are still down by 1 with 30 seconds and change to go. Eris upfield looking for another follow-up play. Will not be able to get the reset. Aris following through. 30 seconds left. 1 down. Whoops. Cave 3 coming down to a nail biter.
25 seconds. Nice 1-2 pass. That one's going to be denied by Knight, though. Pops that one right back towards the Scuzz Esports side of the field. Here comes Stealth on the follow-up touch off the back wall. This one's lingering. Can it go through? No, cannot. The follow-up touch, though, coming through. I believe that one was Stealth or Knight. My apologies. Trying to force that one and pretty much force that dagger into the side of Scuzz Esports. Last chance right here for Scuzz off the back wall. This one's into the corner as well. Knight, and into the corner it will go and die. And it looks like Soul are going to take game number 3. Close opportunities there towards the end, though.
Yeah, we'll say again, credit where credit's due, did well to hold onto that ball as time ticked away so they could get the kill as quick as possible. Eris was challenging up and had that dribble set up, but again, the defensive play is picking up the demo and letting the ball drop to turf, ending up working out for Soul. So looking at down 2-1, we'll have our backs against the wall again as we look to try to bring it to a game number 5. You know, we've been in this situation before heading into game number 4, and we picked up the win against a crew. So we'll look to get another rebound here against Soul in game number 4. I mean, the scoring's gone back and forth, 3-0, 0-3, 3-2. I mean, it's getting more balanced, but I would like to think the pendulum swings back our way for the next game.
Yeah, hopefully we force this game number 5 because, you know, we don't want to go out in a 3-1 fashion, especially against, in my personal opinion, a team like Soul. Although they are a hot team, they are a good team, I feel like it's a team that we can compete with and beat as well. So, I mean, I don't want to see, you know, Scuzz Esports drop like this, especially being 0-2 in the Swiss bracket and in force of elimination first here. So let's hopefully get this one done here in game number 4 and then win that game number 5 as well. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and hop into this game number 4. A couple seconds off the clock. Here comes Eris trying to push this one through and score. First, Saya, follow-up touch as well. Going to be denied by this Soul defense.
And Soul is going to have to pick it up with one less player on defense as they will get that respawn. But the pressure coming out very, very quick here from Scuzz to start it off. There was one thing that I wanted to see is to see the consistency in gameplay and not see, you know, any nerve type situation or any hiccups coming through. The first 30-ish seconds have been looking pretty solid. Saya looking to make it a little bit more solid, looking to make it fantastic, but Stealth ruining the clip. And Saya says, you know what, we're going to go for one more, but it'll get battered away again.
Yeah, what the heck? We're trying to get some clips here. What is this, some sort of qualifier event? No, this is a clip central, all right? Nice demolition onto the goal line. Here comes Eris, going to push that one through. Scuzz Esports with the lead, 1 minute off the clock. This is how we want to start this one out.
It is absolutely how we want to start it. We've talked about it how many times throughout the day. The team that scores first in these games wins these matches. And guess what? We strike first. We take the lead right at the 60-second mark.
Here we go. Nice 50-50 challenge. And I was a little bit worried because you saw that second person up challenging that one at midfield, so I kind of held my breath there for just a tad bit, but Soul still have a nice shot towards net, so I'm saved away by Aris, though. I was going to say, those challenges, especially when they're 50-50, the kickoffs when they're 50-50s, they get a little bit scary because that second person coming up usually has a lot more speed and momentum with the follow-up touch, and usually kind of leads to a goal or something. So, yeah, I mean, fortunately for us, for Scuzz, we escaped that.
Still holding on, and the defense has been stellar, looking to shut out Soul again. But still, I mean, 1-0, holding on to the lead, looking to extend it. Aris up to the skies. Saya will rotate back for boost for the moment. And challenging through again is Aris. Saya got the boost, looking to follow up, look for the delayed shot, and Saya with the bouncer gets the goal. Scuzz up by 2, and looking to continue with the trend we've seen this series, but showing that the momentum on offense will not be denied.
Yeah, not only that, but I like the aggression of Scuzz as well. You saw Saya is going to be credited with that goal, courtesy of Eris of the pass off the sidewall, but Eris went straight for the goal line as well, and he went for that bump play and forced Drury into a crazy situation where he had to come off the back wall and try to save that one away, and Saya just took enough off of that one, turned it into a bounce shot, and got it by the defenders of Seoul. So good showing right now for Scuzz Esports. Good clear upfield as well from Aris, almost trying to find Saya, who was cherry picking on the other side. This was passed off the sidewall. Nice demolition onto the goal line once again, and the bump and the physicality are coming through for Scuzz right now.
It's working out well. I mean, whoops, the only thing I like more than a bounce goal is a demo goal, and I would love to see that come out in Scuzz's favor here, as halftime has elapsed in game number 4. And Eris look to try to get that reset. Will get cleared off to the side. Saya following through. Will be sent off by Knight. And again, the more time we spend down here over on that blue half, it's going to make it more and more awkward for Seoul. And just keep giving momentum back over to Scuzz. You love to see the pressure that's been building.
Uh-oh, here we go. Oh, potential double touch right there. That one's denied by Stealth, I believe it was, or Knight. One of the two. Denied that one off the backboard. Once again, messing with our clips here, Alligator, but still, in this transition, Scuzz has a chance to add one more to the lead. Gonna go and get the touch was Eris. Comes Eris now onto the right-hand side. Stealth takes that one away. We had a chance right there, I think, that, for that offensive segment, but at the same time, just another missed opportunity.
It's, again, I love seeing what they've been going for, though. The mechanics, the comfortability have been solid. The defensive rotations there, not quite so much. Is Knight getting the catch, cut, and score. Actually, Stealth doing a lot to get that drop pass down over to Knight. Eris got bumped as well. I don't know if that took enough momentum off to be able to get the save, but that was close, Whoops.
No, I think that it did. Actually, I just watched that back on the replay. Stealth did rotate back through, get the bump onto Eris. I saw the sparks flying off of that the Octane from the Dominus, and he did redirect that car. This was going to pinch in from Eris, so that goal is going to go ahead and negate, courtesy of this crazy 50-50 pinch right here, or just a pre-jump read from Eris. So, I mean, yeah, back up by 2, in good position, and it's looking like with a minute and 26 seconds left that we are going to tie the series up, hopefully.
Whoops, ball don't lie. You know, you're going to get some fluky stuff, but it comes the other way. Ball don't lie. Scuzz Esports will not take this lying down either. Still up by 2, a minute and change to go, looking to bring to another game 5. We'll see if we can continue holding on to the lead. Seoul getting a little bit more aggressive here in the midfield as they know they're down, but Aris the pre-jump. And that one again will be caught by the defense. Rude, but you know, Aris of the E is the goddess of destruction, or of chaos. Aris they, maybe you're picking up some Aristotle. You're reading these things, you're seeing them ahead of time. I do love to see what you've been pulling off.
Yeah, on top of that, we are indeed in this Coliseum too, so adding to that lore, I guess, of these players' names. But still, not out of danger just yet. Drury on the left-hand side, 40 seconds remaining. Scuzz Esports up by 2, need to hang on to stay alive in this tournament. Stealth off the back wall. You see the demolition there, the bumps coming through for Seoul as well. Here comes the open net opportunity for Eris. That one's popped away at midfield, courtesy of Drury. This one, Drury going for the bump, and the last person back from Scuzz. The rotation has to be cleaned right here for Scuzz. Eris stolen some precious seconds off the clock. Flip reset going into the corner as well, or off to the sidewall, my apologies. That one's going to be over towards the right-hand side. Here comes Knight. Trying to get a pass over to Drury. Stealth as well, trying to go through. Cuxier pinch coming out for Saya. Can't quite get the touch that he needs. Drury demoed off the field. So all zeros on the clock. Doesn't matter if this goal goes through or not, but Scuzz is going to deny it, and the defense stands tall, and they win game number 4 as well.
And we head into game 5. Whoops, we've seen this before. Looking for a little bit different here in this trip to it, but you know, another well bounce back in series, and heading into game 5 this time, there is a goal advantage in favor of Scuzz. We're +1 heading into the game. So a solid bounce back, a solid effort, and the aggression is proving to work. They're going well when we're being aggressive and we're cutting off those passing lanes, and honestly just being a pain in the side when these defensive players are trying to set up their transition. So it worked out well. If we can get off to that hot start in game 5, I mean, I can see Scuzz very easily picking up the win here, but it is going to be that hot start and not getting rattled.
Yeah, and you've seen the frustration coming through on the courtesy of the side of Soul. You've seen Drury trying to get something, get creative, and go for some bumping plays off of the last defender as well. And it just was not working out in their favor. So, I mean, at that point in time, you're down by 2, so you're trying to be creative. You're trying to be a nuisance and a thorn in their side as well. But at the same time, when you take that lead early, that's why it's so important to get the lead early. But when you take that lead early, it just affects the mental of not only the defense, but the offense of the opposing team. So, I mean, we have to score first in order to win some of these games. That one's a close shot right there, denied. Follow-up touch going to be a little bit too wide for Drury as well. But here comes a transition for Saya. That was going to be taken away from Stealth at midfield. But that's exactly why we need to score first for Scuzz. It's worked out for us well in the past, especially the last series. So I want to see them take the lead here early.
Again, I fully agree with it. That's what's been so strange about all of the matches, or all of the games we've seen so far, is yes, there's generally an advantage to whatever team scores first, but it's a perfect record so far as we're heading into our 10th game casted tonight for these guys. And we're, again, seeing this offense coming out from Scuzz, trying to find their way past the Soul defense. We'll see a solid follow-through along the sidewall from Soul, however. Quick cutback from Saya, looking to continue on with the play. Low boost, might be able to get another touch. And instead gets sent back over to the corner, and we remain scoreless after the first minute.
Yeah, right now, Scuzz looking really, really good on the defensively. Soul's playing some pretty decent defense as well, but I do see some rotational mishaps from them. Keeping an eye on the boost management from them as well. You see right now, heading into this offensive segment, they don't really have much to work with. You see Knight going for a couple bumps. They're trying to keep this pressure on, but if you take a look at the top left-hand corner, there was little to no boost to work with from that Soul offense. So Scuzz should win that one 9 times out of 10, unless something crazy happens, like a demolition like that one right there on your screen. Here comes Aris now into the corner. That one's going to rain right down. Can they finish it? Yes, they can. Eris to Eris. The connection works one more time.
And Eris and Saya both running amok in front of Drew, throwing off that time and coming out of the net to try to get that clear off. And it's just going to open it up for Eris, giving us the first goal 95 seconds into the game. And hopefully the trend holds true. They're going to have to hold back on defenses again. The kickoff not going in our favor. A great catch there by Eris. Over to Eris. Over to the air. Looks to drop it low. What? Miss! Drew, you're still rattled, my friend. You got to get back to the game.
Oh my goodness, how does this one work out? Eris just floats this one. That's an easy save from Drew. He had plenty of boost to work with as well. 53 boost, and that one just snuck its way by, but I'll take it. Scuzz are up 2-0. That's exactly what we want to see here, especially with 3:10 remaining. So looking very favorable right now, the offense of Scuzz. We need to score some more, though. I don't want to let up just yet. I know we're starting to do some cruise control of our own, some victory laps, but it's only 2 goals, especially if Soul scores here. It cuts that deficit in half and puts the pressure right back on the defense.
We'll continue to put that pressure, and we talk so much about, like, you gotta forget quick, but you see something like that and you can start inferring, maybe they're a little bit rattled as Soul, maybe not so centered in their own system right now. We'll head back to the skies as well, over towards our half, denied by Aris, sends it deep. Knight trying to get the play over to the corner. Scuzz finding the answer for a lot of these clears, trying to flip it back the other way, even when you see some trickery coming out, cutting it off early as halftime come and gone.
Yeah, 2:22, 2-0. That's what we like to see right now. Scuzz Esports, the battle of the midfield begins, and it's been so crucial. We haven't talked about it just yet, but it's been so crucial to control that midfield line. It starts to starve that defense of the boost. Really, what's been happening is that it's been more or less demolitions that have been opening up some shot opportunities for some of these teams. But really, it's been the battle of this midfield line as well that can kind of add to that pressure of the defense too, because if you can't get the ball past midfield, as Saya's trying to extend this play with his flip reset, if you can't extend that ball past that midfield line, you start to suffocate from boosts. And usually what happens is the offense just finds a weakness in the defense and they force a goal.
They force their way through, force a goal, and try to get it closer. And, well, still holding at arm's reach here is Scuzz, and the defensive stance holding out. Still not necessarily as powerful clears coming out, but doing what they can to stall time off, keep it more than fully out of Soul's hands, but still taking away a lot of the danger. Eris is going to follow through, looking for the bump from Saya. He cannot quite make contact, but he follows through on the challenge. And again, quick to the ball, quick to be a thorn in the side, and quick to pounce upon it. It will ultimately be cleared as we head to the final 60 of Game 5.
There's a shot from Stealth. That one stayed away from Saya. Final 60 seconds. At the midfield line we go. Eris, huge challenge. That's what we've been talking about right there. That keeps the offense over on the left-hand side. The redirect and the low 50-50 from Saya is going to win that exchange. Scuzz up 3-0.
Great play there by Aris. Going over to the corner, gets the double touch, and Knight, immediately expecting it to be a shot on target, is speeding up towards it. Saya, reading the situation, sees what's going to happen, and pinches it off of Knight's hood to send it straight back into net. And whoops, 45 seconds ago, the winner of every game this series has scored exactly 3 points. So first to 3 might be first to 3. Eris about to prove me a liar, but we'll stay off to the side for the moment. But still, pressure pushing and time burning very much on the side of Scuzz in the final 30.
30 seconds left on the clock.
Here we go, 30 seconds on the clock. I know it's 30 seconds just seems like such a long time, especially being up 3-0, but at the same time, I mean, anything can happen. This is Rocket League. I don't count anybody out. But still, the seconds are ticking away, and it's looking more and more gruesome right now. But in favor of Scuzz, though, so that's a good thing. Here comes in trying to go for a Cuxier pinch with Stealth. Couldn't quite come up with that one. Eris now has plenty of boost to work with, going for the flip reset, though. 50-50 works out for the defense. Saya, slow play. Can they get this one through? Drury's going to save that one away. Final seconds off the clock. This one should die towards midfield, and Scuzz are going to pick up this win.